MagSafe has completely changed the way that I view accessories for the iPhone. I've bought a lot of different MagSafe accessories over time. Some of them are absolutely fantastic, and others, they're not very good. So let's talk about everything great, bad, and important about MagSafe, and whether you'll personally want to consider getting into MagSafe yourself. Let's get started. MagSafe is a ring of magnets on every iPhone 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, whatever iPhone, starting with the 12 series. The magnetic ring enables you to basically attach anything that's MagSafe compatible to the back of your iPhone magnetically. This feature is currently only on iPhone. No Android phone currently has this functionality, but the Qi 2 charging standard used by basically all smartphones that have wireless charging may soon incorporate MagSafe, so this feature might actually be in Android devices in the near future. But let's focus more on the device that actually has that feature built in right now, the iPhone. Apple created a few MagSafe accessories when they first introduced MagSafe, so that iPhone users have an idea of what to expect from MagSafe type accessories. Some of them are decent, others are completely bad value that I personally wouldn't recommend to anyone. But after that, quite a few third parties made a bunch of really cool accessories specifically for MagSafe enabled iPhones. And they're mostly not Mad Catz game controllers kind of quality, but are actually quite decent and pretty good. The most common MagSafe accessories that I've seen are chargers, wallets, mounts, and batteries. How can you make sure that your phone can use MagSafe though? If you're the type of person that keeps your phone naked, it should work out of the box if it's one of those iPhone models that I mentioned earlier. However, if you are using a case, you have to make sure that your phone case supports MagSafe. Otherwise, it just doesn't magnetize and you'll be disappointed. Usually this is outlined in the product listing, or you'll notice the MagSafe ring in the inside of the case or on the back side of the phone case. You can also buy stickers with the magnetic MagSafe ring or cases for Android phones with the MagSafe rings if you want to use MagSafe with a phone or case that doesn't necessarily support it. But how well that actually works depends on the case or MagSafe sticker you buy. But I personally would not recommend that route. So let's talk about chargers first. This is by far the most common use for MagSafe. Regular Qi wireless charging is nice to have. You just slap your phone on the wireless charger and you don't have to duck down to find your charging cable in the nest of cables and dust after it fell off the nightstand. But wireless charging is finicky, and to get the maximum charging speed that your phone can handle, it has to be in the exact right spot on the wireless charging pad. That's where MagSafe comes into play. By linking the magnets, your phone and your wireless charger can then be perfectly aligned every time for the maximum charging speed. But that's only if you have a MagSafe charger like Apple's, or a MagSafe charger that specifically states that it supports 15-watt charging for the iPhone. Apple currently only allows MagSafe chargers the ability to charge this fast, and not other Qi chargers that could output that much power. And you may run into MagSafe enabled chargers that only use the Qi charging standard instead of Apple's fast charging, which Apple only allows to charge your iPhone at 7.5 watts, half the power output of MagSafe. Okay, obviously the charging aspect is very confusing, but maybe I can help with that. Here's what I've personally used and can provide a little more insight on. Apple's offering, the standard MagSafe wireless charger, is good, but the cable is too short. Like, look at this. I can fit it all on this screen. And you can't easily use your device when you're charging your phone with this, since the cable slack is just not there. But this MagSafe wireless charger with kickstand from Belkin actually is long enough and is actually much more doable in terms of having some cable slack and using your phone while it's wirelessly charging through MagSafe. And this is one of the third-party chargers that actually supports the maximum 15-watt charging speed. But keep in mind that 15 watt, while that is the maximum MagSafe rate, will actually drop below that after a while. So don't expect half the charge time from 0 to 100%. It doesn't necessarily work like that. Both Belkin and Anker also sell a cheaper MagSafe charger, but those cheaper chargers, like I mentioned before, max out at a slower 7.5 watts. So you really have to be careful that you're buying a fully capable MagSafe charger versus one that charges at half the speed. But remember, MagSafe does not necessarily mean twice as fast. I charged my iPhone 14 Pro using both a slower wireless charger and this MagSafe enabled one. And I noticed after a 15-minute test, I actually got 12% using a regular wireless charger versus 18% for MagSafe. So definitely not half the time. So that's single wireless chargers. But there's also multi-device docking stations that charge more than just your phone. The idea is basically to be able to charge your phone, Apple Watch, and AirPods all at the same time without having to have 3 different wires dangling around to charge all of your different devices. This makes them perfect on nightstands, desks, and side tables. I actually tried a few and I don't think any of them are perfect, although I am pretty picky, and if it makes my space look like a mess, I'd be pretty annoyed until it gets fixed. But I ended up really liking this jumbled English no-name one from Amazon because aesthetically it didn't look like a weird tower sitting on top of your desk like many of the other ones. And because the MagSafe puck can actually be stood up so that your phone is levitating and upright, it's super useful if you want to start using your iPhone on standby mode once iOS 17 releases. But both the MagSafe and Apple Watch charger is only standard charging speed on this particular unit. But for the price, aesthetic, and build of this unit, I think it's a good value. If you really want the best charging speeds, I'd suggest this Belkin 3-in-1 Boost Charge Pro wireless charging pad. It looks nice, it has fast charging, MagSafe, and an Apple Watch charger all in one. It is really pricey though, so you're really paying for those faster charging speeds. Also, the MagSafe puck doesn't stand up like this no-name Amazon one. Belkin also sells one that has a stand for your phone and watch with the same charging speeds. But personal preference here, it's a bit of an eyesore to me with its tree-like design. It looks like a hat tree, really. But you know, if that's more of your thing and you prefer that design, then more power to you. You get the same charging speeds. But these type of charging pads aren't the only type of multi-device charging. There are actually travel all-in-one chargers as well. Apple sells the MagSafe Duo that provides a MagSafe and Apple Watch charger that you can literally just fold in half. It's expensive and the white exterior does get kind of nasty over time. Technically T has a great video explaining about his in and outs of this particular charger. He's used it for a long time and as his primary device. Of course, I personally believe it's more of a travel charger. If you use it that way, it won't yellow that much, but it's a good idea to kind of figure out how yellow it does get. It's really compact for a dual wireless charger, making it a good travel companion. But there are other options out there now. There are dupes of this MagSafe Duo now, like this Yukon one that takes the philosophy and adds another spot for a standard Qi charger for your AirPods. It has the same nice collapsible design of the MagSafe Duo and actually costs a fraction of the cost. But wow, does this thing just feel and look cheap. There's so many logos and designs over the charging pad, and it charges slow, and the hinges don't necessarily bring confidence. I don't know if I can share it on screen, but you can actually see the cable that connects each charging pad together. And this Apple Watch charger actually easily bends backwards, which doesn't give me a lot of confidence on the potential longevity of this particular charger. But hey, it's a budget-friendly, compact multi-charger you can just toss in your bag and use when traveling. Personally, I don't know if I would use this long-term, and I would actually opt for some of the more premium options for some more reliability. And the more premium option I'm talking about is this Anchor 3-in-1 cube. It has all the different charging options you're looking for in a neat little cube, so it's easier to store in your luggage versus some of the more oddly shaped ones. This makes a great little charging station. Regardless of whatever you decide to use for your travel companion, I would still recommend bringing along a Lightning and USB-C cable just in case. It's always good to have backups in emergency situations, and I would not solely rely on wireless charging to get you through every charging session, especially while traveling. Okay, so well before MagSafe, people would use wallet cases or hide credit cards in their phone cases. With MagSafe came a bunch of MagSafe Wallet. These are slim wallets for your cards that you just slap on your phone and then you're ready to go. This makes it super easy to just grab the bare minimum, like your license, a debit card and a credit card, your house keys, and then you just leave your house without the need for a wallet, purse, or sling. I've used the standard MagSafe wallet a lot. It's super tiny and can really only fit 3 unembossed cards really well. While there were initial concerns when this thing released about how much it slides around or could potentially slide around in your pocket, I've personally never had an issue of it falling off my phone when I slide it into my pocket. Ever. But another issue that it brings is that I developed a really bad habit of sometimes forgetting the wallet on the nightstand when the phone was charging. The Apple one specifically has a feature that sends a notification when the wallet disconnects from your phone and does it every time you disconnect it and leave it off after a certain amount of time. The Apple Wallet is quality-wise decent, but the leather does get worn down over time, and sometimes the cards, despite having this little area where you can slide the cards out can get stuck, and you have to put in a lot of effort to slide the cards out, since the only way you can do it is through the back. Hop on Amazon and there's plenty of MagSafe wallets, and even some that get rid of the issues that I have on the Apple one, like this pop socket MagSafe wallet. It comes in a bunch of different color plastics. It's slim and light, but also has this elastic fabric on the bottom that you can just push on, and the cards are available for use even when you still have the wallet attached to your phone. You can even find a version of this wallet with a built-in pop socket grip for additional personalization. The magnets on this are pretty strong, and I think it's even grippier than the Apple one. It's a good alternative to the Apple leather MagSafe wallet if you don't like the leather look and don't care about the notification feature when the wallet disconnects, although that is a very valuable feature to have. Neither of these really replaces your main wallet though, and I still bring my bifold wallet with me on a long day just in case. What happens if I need to use cash or use a specific card when Apple Pay isn't working right? But just having your most important cards with you at all times when you need to quickly leave the house is overall pretty nice. Now, this is one area that I'm pretty weak on when it comes to MagSafe because I haven't really spent time getting to know the ins and outs of it. But there are a ton of mounts that you can get. You can attach your phone to a car air vent or dashboard mount to be used for GPS. You can attach your phone to a tripod mount to take photos, attach your phone to your laptop to be used as a webcam, or attach it to your bike while you're riding. These aren't necessarily things you couldn't do with an iPhone before MagSafe, but these were things that were more time consuming to do. Like before, if you wanted to attach your phone to a tripod, you'd have to mess with the mount to get your phone attached and then lock it in place. Now you just place your phone directly onto the mount without any additional fiddling around. It's not a game changer, but it makes the little things a little quicker and simpler. The only MagSafe mount I've personally used is this Stauchy camera mount. This lets you mount your phone to the top of your MacBook to be used as a webcam using Apple's continuity camera feature for the iPhone. The mount itself is pretty nice feeling, costs less than the Belkin version, and I do like that the mount serves as a phone stand and ring grip as well. I like these little touches that make it more of a multi-purpose mount versus just a webcam mount. All these different mounts definitely depend on what type of things that you personally do in your life, so I'll leave it at that. No hard recommendations there. If you know a specific mount would be useful for you, you probably already know. Lastly, we have battery banks. You probably own one already that charges your phone through its USB-A or USB-C port, but there's actually MagSafe enabled ones now as well. The benefit of these is that you can just slap them on your phone even without having a cable to charge your phone, since it will just magnetically stay on your phone. I haven't tried too many of them, but I will point out something. Apple does offer a first-party MagSafe battery pack that wirelessly charges your phone. That thing gives you the benefits of some fancy smart iPhone specific features that regular battery packs don't have. Your iPhone tells you how much charge is left in the pack and charges your phone as it needs it, rather than being a dumb battery that's constantly on. And you can actually reverse charge back to that pack when your iPhone is plugged in via Lightning. But other manufacturers have created their own MagSafe battery packs too, like this MagGo one MagSafe battery bank from Anker. This thing has a built-in flap that can become a kickstand, and you can charge your devices through the USB-C port on the battery pack itself. It's also half the price of the Apple MagSafe battery pack and actually lets you use the port to charge any device. Honestly, while these MagSafe battery packs are really cool, wireless charging is much more inefficient compared to wired charging, so you don't get the same amount of charge from a similar sized battery pack if you go with wireless charging on that same pack. So this Anker MagGo battery bank only nets me around 80% battery on my iPhone 14 Pro if I use it wirelessly. That's not even a full charge. It's also very convenient to have the option to just slap this battery pack on your phone and just go. I like to just carry around this little guy in a sling bag when I'm traveling, but I'd always recommend a bigger battery bank that charges by cable to go along with it in a travel setup so that you can charge all of your different devices wired and at faster speeds. You can't defeat physics. With all things being equal, cable charging is faster and more efficient. Okay, I'm a little tired, but we talked about a lot of different uses for MagSafe and all the different MagSafe accessories that I've personally tried. So to a regular person, are these worth purchasing? The answer, of course, really depends on who you are. I think MagSafe is a really convenient feature that can help you better keep your things attached to your phone, like to attach a wallet or a kickstand. And these are things you probably already considered getting for your phone, but it now enables you to actually do it quicker, and change out your accessory on the fly without the mess of adhesives or removing tight-fitting cases or mounts. What it isn't a replacement for is for permanent charging or for battery banks. MagSafe is a nice supplement to all that and is more convenient, but if you're looking for a quick charge, you're better off plugging it in for 15 minutes versus MagSafe charging for 15 minutes. MagSafe has made using accessories a little easier, and I hope it gets even better. Imagine how much more flexibility your phone could have if they incorporated the little smart connector plugs from the iPad on the iPhone. It could provide some more functionality to things you attach your iPhone to without using a cable. Like Sony used to make this really cool but really weird camera mount thing that you would attach to the back of your smartphone. Imagine that, but MagSafe with little pins on the back. I think that's the next evolution of that if that ever becomes a thing again. Hopefully it looks a little better than whatever this is. I think MagSafe has a bright future, especially with Qi 2 potentially bringing it to Android devices as well. I hope that's what MagSafe becomes in the future, something much better than it is right now. But for how MagSafe is right now, it provides flexibility and ease of use on how a rectangular glass slab we call a smartphone interacts with accessories we use with our devices, and depends on how you personally use these accessories. It could definitely make your life easier. I'd recommend checking out some if you haven't already. MagSafe accessories are cheap now that third-party manufacturers have had some time to develop products for it. Anyway, what do you personally think? Do you have any MagSafe accessories of your own? What did you think of the MagSafe recommendations I had? Any comments? Any differing opinions? Leave all that down in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. And well, don't forget to subscribe. I'll see y'all next time. Bye.